Hi, my name is John Barley. I'm here to introduce you to Mr. Bruce Holland. He is the author of a book called Cracking Great Leaders. Why are you making this program available to other consultants, Bruce?
Well, John, for the last 25 years, I've been working as a consultant, essentially trying to liberate human energy in the businesses of my clients. And right from the start, that's been really important to me, liberating human energy. I'm one of these strange guys who really care about the planet and people, and I think the planet's in a bit of a mess, and business is a great place to play in trying to put it right. And I know in the companies that I've worked with over the last 25 years that working with them through a Cracking Great Leaders program, they've made significant benefits, opening them up and making them more creative. Now, I guess I've come to realise in the last little while that I'm not going to be able to do this on my own. And now what I've done in the last year is to try and put these together, bundle them up, put all my knowledge, all my processes online, and make them available to other people, other consultants, because hopefully then they can come and help me to liberate human energy at work. There are 23 modules. What I've done over the last year or so is to put all my knowledge into 23 half-day workshop modules. And these are very flexible. It's unlikely that any person would want to buy all 23, but maybe they can select from these 23 the 8 modules which are going to really satisfy their customer. And I've targeted this program up online, I've targeted it at other consultants. So I guess what I'm doing is giving away my IP.
So that's pretty generous of you to want to be able to share something that you've worked on for the past number of years. You've also written a book on it. And it's great that you're actually prepared to share it with other consultants. So this is really a matter of nurture and creating the right culture within the organization to focus on the strengths rather than the weaknesses.
Absolutely. Focus on what's working, not what's not working. Focus on what's good about people, not what... we've all got good and we've all got bad. And so many organisations and so many programs focus on what's bad about people and try and fix it. I think we ought to be focusing on what's good and trying to amplify it. That's the key. That's the key. If you can do that, you get this great big flywheel starting to turn. People see each other growing. And the other thing that's sort of different about this program is it's not a one person goes to it. 50 people, the whole organisation goes to it. So, John goes off to Harvard and he comes back all ready up. And he tries to apply what he's learned in the organisation, but no one else knows what the hell he's talking about. So before long, it all falls apart. But if you've got everybody there learning together and supporting each other and developing a language and developing the same sort of skills and thinking, then almost anything's possible. It's about bringing out the humanity that's in people. And mostly it's about reminding people that they are great. Often if we're having a series of workshops, and usually these are a series, because one-off initiatives hardly ever work. But if you can actually have a series of half-day workshops, maybe every 2 or 3 weeks apart, and you might have 8 of these, then over that 3-month period or 4-month period, you get unbelievable change. Before long, you've got a different organisation, one where people are starting to talk to each other, where they're starting to trust each other, where they're starting to understand each other, where managers start to see their people in a totally different light. And everybody who's part of that organisation feels that difference.
How will it actually benefit an organisation? What you're providing?
Well, there are two levels. You see, I'm pitching this program at other consultants, and they may be internal consultants, like HR managers or organisational development managers, or they might be external consultants like myself who go into organisations and work like that, probably in the same sort of areas of HD and OD, HR and OD. Now, clearly from them, the benefit is that they get a program which is already produced and isn't going to take them 25 years like it took me to produce it. And I made lots and lots of mistakes during that time. And I hope that they won't have to make those sort of mistakes. So they can buy this thing pretty much off the peg. They can amend it. They can put their own branding on it. They can use it as a basis, or they can use it as the total, as is. It works as is beautifully. The other benefit is those consultants' clients, and the organisation ends up enormously better. You can feel it the minute you walk into an organisation.
It's 2:00.
Some of them you think, my God, I can't understand how anyone could bear to work in this place. You feel that it's like depression coming down around your head, And others you come in and you think, this place is singing. And anything's possible in this place. And it's not just the senior people that feel that way, it's everybody who starts to feel that way. And it's contagious. Both the depression is contagious, so is the uplifting contagious. And before long, if you can get that uplifting working, everybody feels it, inside the organisation and outside the organisation.
But do you think that from what you're proposing can actually differentiate a company more than its competitors purely and simply by changing the culture within the organisation?
It's really the only thing there is in an organisation these days. I mean, 95% of the market value of organisations these days is all about intangibles. It's culture, it's about relationships, and it's about knowledge. So, I mean, 5% is accounted for by the balance sheet items. This is what matters. And of course it differentiates people because you're working with the stuff that matters. And it's not only the culture, but the customer service starts to improve, the brand starts to improve, because this feeling that people have is tangible. You can feel it. It's people understand it. They walk into an organisation, they deal with someone who's working in it, and it's very different from the average organisation. And this is what I'm trying to get my consultants, people to buy the program for, because I've seen this work. I know it works. It's really exciting. And I can't actually get into enough organisations to make the world better. But if I can sell it to 200 or 300 or 2,000 or 3,000, hopefully, other consultants, then we've got a fighting chance of doing something. But John, it's not usually the accountants that buy this program. It's the HR people. It's the chief executive, especially a new chief executive comes in, they see their organisation isn't running the way they want it to. They think it could be a hell of a lot better, but they just don't know how to. It's the organisational development people in an organisation. Or it's consultants who are in and out of these sorts of organisations, and of the 100 that they visit every year, there's 5 that they think might be really right for this. And so they talk to their chief executive or the board or whatever, and they can sell it to them. It's all about word of mouth. You do a good job, something spectacular happens, and they start talking to their peers, the other chief executives or the other board members, and before long you get other people saying, hey, can you come and do what you did for them? It could be an HR manager on the other side of the world who sees this interview and thinks, well, this might be for me. Maybe I can buy this program for next to nothing, and it might save me 25 years of work. And even if I have to modify it a little bit, that's still a hell of a start on. I mean, I just wish this was available when I started out, because it would have saved me hours and hours, years of work. For the consultant who's selling this thing, they get a really happy customer who's going to go out and say, hey, you wouldn't believe what John Barley can do for you, because he's actually got something that's worthwhile here that I haven't seen anyone else do. And so John doesn't have to spend so much time marketing his product. He can probably charge a higher price if he wants to. I've never charged a very high price because I care about the liberating human energy much more than the income. Mind, I've made a bloody good income over the last 25 years using exactly this material. I just hope that someone else can pick it up and use it too, and have the same sort of lifestyle. But it's not just income. It's the feeling that you get when you help someone. It's the joy of seeing something that wasn't working really start to work. It's the feeling that this organisation, which was pretty ho-hum, has suddenly become very special.
That's the major point. Well, that's a real major benefit. So, how does a business owner or consultant find out more about your product, and how do they get hold of it? How do they get hold of you?
Okay, so as I said, I spent the last year putting all the stuff, both the information required and the processes required to run these 23 workshops. I put them up online, and they're up on a site called crackinggreatleaders.com, crackinggreatleaders.com. And from there, you'll be able to get access to the book if you want it, or else you can go to the program if you want it. And there's a whole host of other stuff in there, and a great deal of it's free. The modules actually cost, I'm pretty sure that most of them are $199 a module. And for that, I mean, if I were running that workshop, I would be charging at least $3,000 each time I run it. And I'm selling this stuff for $199. So you can sort of see the return that's available to a consultant out there who wants to buy this stuff. And then they can take that, they can use it as it is, or they can take it, they can put their own, you can put John Barley on it. This is my information, and I don't care really, as long as you're helping to liberate the human energy at work.
That's cool.
It is cool. It's really cool. It's exciting part. It's an exciting business to be part of. And I wish I could actually work with every company in the world that needed a changing, but I can't do that. And so I need to have these other people. Therefore, I've got the program there for them. They take this material, they know their clients, they use it or they modify it according to the circumstances they find it. I have found that this approach that I've put up online works with just about every client that I've used. But, my style is my style, and your style is your style. And maybe you don't feel comfortable using some of the words that I would use or some of the approaches. It may need some modification. If you need to modify it, I think I really have given you a really good start for almost no cost.
Would you actually say, like you've got your consultancy, you've got your modules, and you've also got your book. What would you propose to a newbie or a new consultant? Would you say to them, go and buy the book first and then get the modules, or would you say get the modules first and then go and get the book?
I mean, the book's a really good start. It's got some wonderful stories in it. I'm a great believer in stories, that people learn by listening to stories and they remember by it. And so there's a whole series of stories in there which will be very useful to them as a consultant if they learn them and tell those stories. The idea would be buy the book and then the program. But buying the program is probably quite okay too, I think. They will get everything they need to run that workshop, all the information which they can send out to the participants. They'll get an understanding of the process, the agenda, how long it takes to do each exercise, my learnings about how to run a process to get icebreakers going, all that sort of stuff's in there. And the general approach of sort of having, because you do need to have a series of these half-day workshops. One won't do much on its own.
Cool. Well, that's been very insightful. So thank you very much, Bruce, for taking the time to tell us all about the modules and about your belief system, which I think has huge potential for any business, especially in the 21st century, because there definitely needs to be a difference in the way that business owners and businesses think to progress, because the old models definitely are not working as we thought they would be. So thank you very much.
My pleasure, John. It's been a delight talking to you.